What are we doing, you guys? What are we doing? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. Alright, here we go. Alright, so Matt the cat is here. Hello and welcome. Let's see. Okay, Michael's in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, so I did a video, the All That Shebang Bang podcast. Had a podcast episode about sorry, I'm looking at chat. Alright, so yeah, major development in the LarryBoy multiverse. Yes, got my water bottle. Okay, Logo Boy Enterprises, thank you for tuning in. Watching TikTok, got a notification on for the stream. Yes, exactly. Want to be notified about my live streams and the videos I make? Click that like button. Well, actually, click the notification bell. If you like the videos and live streams, click that like button. What a recorder buddy, thank you for tuning in. And word on the street is YYShe's birthday is today, so wish them a happy birthday. I know I did. I enjoyed that very much. And I'm also here with my LarryBoy plushie and Junior Boy plushie. Oh. And of course there's my poster right there. So I did a podcast episode on the upcoming LarryBoy movie. I shared my thoughts about it. So obviously it's like, you know, a lot of mixed reactions. I mean, there's good news and bad news. Good news is that we're finally getting a LarryBoy movie. Seems like it. So 16th birthday in 19 days. Well, happy early birthday, Logo Boy. So I can't believe many Nintendo add-ons are banned from Gmod. Yeah, I've heard about Gmod, Matt. Yeah, it's a downer, but hopefully there'll be add-ons to either replace or they bring the add-ons back. Yeah, Matt knows a lot about that situation, a lot more than what I've just explained. But yeah, so as far as good news on the LarryBoy movie, it's like we're finally getting one. But the bad news is, well, there's a lot of bad news circulating around it. What was it? It's like I'm just like so like stuck in the middle. It's like I want to be happy, but also it's like Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki, the creators of VeggieTales, the original OGs, they're not involved in this movie at all. And Phil Vischer even tweeted about it. And it's like, oh, well, we've learned about it just recently on Twitter. It's like, that's where they're getting their information. It's like they're not being told that to their faces. It's like, oh, they fight about it on the internet. It's like, oh my gosh. So, Tian, welcome to the stream. So, right now we're doing a little recap on what's been going on with the LarryBoy movie. So, 2026 is the potential release date. Alden, thank you for tuning in. Yeah. It's like a lot of mixed reactions. Again, I want to support this movie, but it's like there's like the wrong people are actually seeing overseeing the LarryBoy movie coming to fruition, supposedly. Elizabeth the Cucumber, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad it's not Nintendo filing DMCAs, but still someone is removing them from Gmod. We still don't know who is doing it and why they're doing it. Alright, so Kirk Heineke, one of the original VeggieTales, yeah, he's made a lot of music for VeggieTales. So, wait, he's involved as music composer for the movie? Oh my god, where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that? So there's like a glimmer of hope, but it's like Phil Vischer, Mike Naraki, especially Mike Naraki, who's been the voice of Larry the Cucumber, been the voice of this guy right here. I don't know, it's just not going to be the same. Okay, so Dan Morrow has been around for a while and claims to be a fan. I don't know who Dan Morrow is. Yeah, I misread the name, sorry. Oh, you're asking, will he? Oh, okay. So, well, Kirk Heineke. Well, probably not. I mean, that sucks too, because Kurt Heineke is a musical phenomenon. He's a legend when it comes to VeggieTales music. Like, his music is awesome. So, Carlos is in the chat. So, I'm pretty disappointed in how things are coming along when it comes to the LarryBoy movie. It's like, yeah, we're finally getting one, but we've been asking for years. Years. It's like, after LarryBoy and the Bad Apple came out in 2006, I was like, oh man, we need LarryBoy to be in a movie. We need a movie of LarryBoy. We need him in a theatrical release of some sort. Then come 2012, we get League of Incredible Vegetables, which was definitely a cash-in for Marvel's The Avengers, because that was a big movie back then. And then we cut to years later, 2024, we're just now hearing about a movie based on LarryBoy. I mean, it's like, I've been waiting forever. Ever since 2006, basically. So how many years is that? That's almost 20. That's almost 20 years of waiting, so I can only hope someone will bring the add-ons back, because, yeah, I totally feel your pain, Matt. Oh, you might notice I have you and Cappy, like in the jury booth, or whatever you call this. But anyways, you guys came here to see this, to see me put this on paper. And I'm going to be coloring it with marker, which, by the way, I didn't pull out the markers. Well, we'll deal with that in a little bit. But hey, the scenario. Judge LarryBoy Fanatic is in the podium. Junior Boy is my bailiff. Matt the Cat, Cappy, Finn, Nintega Dario, Bob the Tomato are in the jury stand. And this caricature is supposed to be a representation of Big Idea and NBCUniversal in the form of Leslie Farrell. We've all been waiting, girl. I've been campaigning. I saw Finn in drawing yesterday. Yes, definitely. He's in this. That looks great. Thanks for making that. At least Gmod can't take away. Gmod can never take away my drawings. You're right. So, the feature presentation, y'all. Clever Hilarious is in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, you were LarryBoy Rocks a lot. I remember. Okay, so Alright. Move some stuff around. Alright, so still looking at chat. It'll never be the same without Phil and Mike for the movie. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. Alright, so this is a pencil sketch so far. However, we're gonna iron out the details with more pencil. Jack Carter's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. So, I got this idea. Of like a court case scene from this upcoming cutscene for Billy Bust-Up where Barnaby has Billy on trial. Yeah, I think we could pull it up here. Yeah, I'll pull it up on my computer, but for those of you who don't know, I've been following Billy Bust-Up for quite some time. Billy Bust-Up is an upcoming video game that's coming from Humble Games. So far, they're doing things right. They are... Yeah. I'm super excited because it's got amazing characters, great songs. Yeah, I did a podcast episode on Billy Bust-Up one time where I discussed the characters and the villains, especially the villains. Barnaby is like my favorite character. My favorite character in Billy Bust-Up so far. Alright, so I'm just gonna pull up. Alright, so y'all won't get to hear the audio for this storyboard, but it's worth watching. It's worth checking out. So in this scene, Billy is put on trial for some reason. And we get Judge Barnaby. We get Barnaby the Ghost Owl as judge. So he's trying to quiet the court or whatever. This is serious business. And Billy's confused and, you know, hilarity. Oh yeah, there's even concept art. Let me show you. Yeah, I've bookmarked a lot of stuff about Billy Bust-Up, especially with Barnaby. Bingo, we got the concept art. So this was part of my inspiration. This was the majority of my inspiration for this drawing right here. And I see Platinum's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Alright, so Alden Miller just got a subscription. Congrats. Alright, Rainbow Wolf is in the chat. So anyways, this is concept art from Billy Bust-Up. And you could see on top here, Judge Barnaby is here. So this is where much of my inspiration for this drawing right here came from. I mean, since we're talking about big idea NBCUniversal, we need to hold them accountable. We need to make sure that they make this movie right. They need to... It's like justice for LarryBoy. I mean, come on. So anyways, we're taking the inspiration and putting it in this drawing here. So Judge Barnaby's up here, Billy's down here being questioned, and we got the jury. We should add like a long list of complaints as part of the drawing. Okay, back to the feature presentation. Yeah, we've already talked about the feature presentation, so release a video on the new LarryBoy movie once my data gets high speed. Yeah, I would like to hear y'all's thoughts. Like, put y'all's 2 cents in a video. I mean, we need more voices. We need more people talking about this. I was like, oh, okay. I need like a overhead lighting. Hashtag justice for LarryBoy. All right. Hang on. Oh, idea. I'm going to put the light over here. There we go. So you guys can see it better. On X, Phil said Leslie would veto most of Mike's silly song ideas. What? Has she even listened to the Hairbrush song? Or other silly songs that Mike's written? Mike is a freaking genius. And she's going to say no to all that. I wonder if he was referring to the Razor song, which became the Hairbrush song. And Love My Tongue, which became Lug My Lips. She probably heard about the original concept and she was like, no, we don't want that. Yeah, this feels like a mandate, a corporate mandate. A bunch of nonsense since John Bostic. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we got a lot of viewership in this live stream. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Anyone heard the original Jean-Claude version of Sippy Cup? Oh, I've heard of the Sippy Cup song, but it was like, I didn't know there was like a Jean-Claude version. Wonder if the Tomato Hunters silly song would ever get written. Oh, Tornado Hunters. Sorry. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna need my glasses to read the computer screen. Give me 1 second. My dog is asleep, like, right next to my computer. Right next to my chair, sorry. Leslie is a carrot. Karen's like, I want to speak to your manager. But girl, you're already a manager. I mean, look at you. You're corporate. So you're going to call upon yourself? Demand to see yourself? Actually, gonna make the silly songs into a Jean-Claude, into a drawing. Alright, so I got my pencils. Okay, someone in the chat was asking me what I use for art. So, first and foremost, sketch pad, pencil, eraser. Got my pencil sharpeners. I love this one especially because you sharpen it and all the pencil shavings, open it up, dump all the shavings, and then use it again. I need to find another one of these because this one I've had for years. I'd like to get another one just like it. Corrupt! Exactly. Alright, so focusing. There we go. Original Sippy Cup was a hard rock with shucks. Aw, shucks. What are your thoughts on the quote? Phil also said this. Post-bankruptcy, Mike's songs started getting vetoed. Then finally, Mike's contract was dropped entirely. See, now, it's like, okay, I gotta say this because, you know, Phil and Mike made everything when it came to VeggieTales. big idea. NBCUniversal, especially, have Phil and Mike to thank for their creativity for VeggieTales. And how do they thank them? How did they thank Phil and Mike? By firing them, by kicking them out. No questions asked. Why? Because they asked for more creative freedom? I mean, asking for creative freedom, I mean, that's not a bad thing. But NBCUniversal wants to treat it like a bad thing. Honestly, I don't know who this Kathleen Kennedy is. It's like, is she another corporate baddie also? Yeah, why don't you fill me in on that? No, what's even worse? Post-bankruptcy. Thought it was a preschool show. Well, obviously, this Leslie person didn't read Phil's memoir. Obviously, she hasn't delved into the VeggieTales world enough. Oh yeah, Platinum. I've heard of the Fortnite festival. It's like Fortnite is like, okay, Disney and Epic Games are partnering at long last to give us more content. I mean, it's good. I mean, I haven't touched Fortnite for a while. I'll probably look into that. Now, going back to what we've been... Okay, going back to NBCUniversal, is like, they haven't, like, delved into VeggieTales long enough like we have. It's like, at first glance, they'll say, okay, well, this is a preschool show. It's like cartoony characters. It's like, they don't understand. Like, and like I said, they have Phil and Mike to thank for creating VeggieTales. And then Phil and Mike get fired or told to leave. Well, they weren't actually told to leave. They just like took Phil and Mike out, and then when they were outside, it's like, okay, close the door. Yeah, this is definitely the thanks they get for creating such a fantastic show with wonderful characters. Like, she hasn't been in this... Is like, Leslie is an outsider. She's an outsider. And it's like, and now she thinks she can, like, make these changes and do whatever. I mean, that's what happens when you let an outsider run things. An outsider that has no knowledge, little to very little no knowledge of something, you know? Alright, so LarryBoy Fanatic is donning a wig. I know it's not the silly white wig that Barnaby wears, but I took inspiration from Judge Judy. You guys remember Judge Judy? I mean, she still has her show, but yeah. So instead of like an old-timey white wig, I'm gonna be donning a Judge Judy wig. Alright, so some of you have been drawing this week. So yeah, keep up the great work. If you love to draw, just go for it. So it's been a crazy week ever since I've heard about the LarryBoy movie being a thing. And again, Phil and Mike are not involved. It's like they learned about it through Twitter, which is sad because there ain't no transparency. And I gotta keep saying this over and over. I have more transparency through Billy Bustup because, I mean, sure, they keep things under wraps because they don't want to spoil everything. But in the times that they share things publicly, it's all good. And I just showed you that concept art of Judge Barnaby. That's like a really nice gem of content. And you know that cutscene that I reacted to on Halloween when it was live? I had a really great time. And I even dressed up for it. So why can't Big Idea NBCUniversal be the same thing? And you know when the Super Mario Bros. Was teased? And they were doing live streams of what they were working on? It was like who was going to be in it? I mean, sure, the initial reaction to Chris Pratt being Mario, voicing Mario, was like, but then we all warmed up to it as time went on. And then when we saw that first teaser trailer, like a lot of people were reacting to Jack Black as Bowser. It's like there was a lot of hype built for it. A lot of hype. So that's what I'm expecting for the LarryBoy movie, you know? I want it to be big and grand. It's like, make a celebration out of it. I'll definitely make it a celebration. Yes, Thousand Year Door is getting a remake. It's gonna be fun. It looks like a fun game. I'll probably get it, you know? Because that originally came out on the GameCube. BTF to the new movie. It's not like NBCU won't reach out to Phil and Mike. Well, they haven't. Because like I said, Phil and Mike are just now learning it. Because they weren't told about... It's like they didn't learn about a LarryBoy movie in the works until they found out on the internet like the rest of us. So they were just as in the dark about this movie as we were. Well, I gotta give the Netflix series the benefit of the doubt. At least Phil and Mike were involved in those series. Even though I didn't appreciate the character designs being screwed up and wonky. Yeah, there was a lot of talent put into it. Yeah, it was definitely juvenile. Definitely juvenile, and I complained about it. I don't know, maybe I'll revisit it someday. I think I bought an episode through Apple TV. Their iTunes. Yeah. Yeah, In the House makes me angry too. Okay, so going back to what Alden was saying, they won't reach out to Phil and Mike. I'm hopeful that they will at least be brought on as voice actors. Well, according to Finn, it yeah, they're not going to be brought back as voice actors, unfortunately. I think Finn posted about it. I mean, that's no surprise because Phil and Mike aren't even involved. Alright, so we got Junior Boy. He's our bailiff, whatever. He's wearing a badge. Guy's baton. They need us as fans to help voice the characters. I mean, yes, yeah, I know a bunch of people in the VeggieTales community that can hit the voices right out of the park way better than the voice actors in the podcast. And I think I pointed that out in my podcast review. Is like, don't be a veggie boomer. And so the podcast episode I did for this movie is like, initially I wasn't planning on doing another podcast episode for a while, but when I started hearing about the LarryBoy movie, it's like, oh my god, I need to do an emergency episode, an emergency podcast episode. Clever, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. So, yeah, let me tell you what happened. Like, I was working on a couple of other videos for my channel, and then people started hitting me up on YouTube and Instagram. I think John Bostic was the one that told me first that there was a LarryBoy movie in the works. And honestly, I didn't believe him at first because there's a lot of oh, sorry about that. Okay, so we got JoJo in the chat. We got SDA Storyteller. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so John Bostic was one of the first people to tell me about the LarryBoy movie being a thing. At first, I didn't believe him because it's like there's like a lot of fan-made LarryBoy movies and LarryBoy trailers out on the internet. But then I check out the link to the article, that Jesus Freak article, and I was like, oh my god, they're for real with this. And then a couple of days later, I see it on K-Love's website, which, by the way, K-Love is a mainstream Christian radio station that I've listened to for years. So I find K-Love a lot more reputable than these other sites. So I was like mind blown. But then you read the article and you see who's involved, and it's like, oh my god, we're hearing about this Leslie person again. And it's like, oh, well, why is she now calling LarryBoy a fan favorite? We've been saying it for years. It's like, NBCUniversal has lived under a rock, basically. And I tweeted a GIF on that idea. of living under a rock, because you're just now realizing that Larry Boy is a fan favorite in the VeggieTales fandom. It's like, how long have you been asleep for? How long have you been under that rock? Now all of a sudden you're surprised? You're realizing, hey, Larry Boy is a fan favorite? Oh, it's like, the comedy writes itself. It's like, this is funny. It's stupid funny. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's freaking obvious. Like, when it comes to VeggieTales, Larry Boy, a superhero, is gonna draw people's attention. It was like, oh, wow, you just realized it? So what do you want, a pat on the back? Because you figured it out? Well, maybe y'all should have figured it out in 2006 or 2012. Y'all should have figured it out then. Angel Cat's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Anyone have an idea for the movie if we were to make one off of the main villain, the relationship between Alfred and Larry Boy? Yeah, there has to be a strong focus on Larry Boy and Alfred. It's like, and again, that's another thing. We need this movie better have like an origin story for Larry Boy. How did Larry Boy become the superhero that he is today? So we should put it on our checklist of what this movie needs. Now that I think about it, we need to make up we need to put together like a laundry list of what the movie needs, what this movie does not need. Because, again, like some of you were saying, it's a corporate mandate. It's a corporate mandate at this point because superheroes, a superhero genre, is like, that's a moneymaker right now, especially with the Marvel universe, the DC Comics universe. It's like, it's a popular genre, superheroes. Okay, so Kingstone Studios concerns you. Yeah, it concerns me too because, yeah, we don't know much about Kingstone, do we? Other than they make biblical comics. I mean, I've seen their video showing off their collection of comics. Like, they do comics on the Bible stories. I mean, the art's fine. I mean, yeah, I love comics. I love graphic novels. It's like they've never done animation before, just motion graphics and effects for live action. Oh, okay. So I knew there was something a little suspicious, especially, it was like, what movies have they done? It was like, do they have a filmography of some sort? It was like, we need to see like their track record, their resume. And you know what? Yeah, it's a little iffy because at least with DreamWorks and Illumination, you already know that they've made movies because we've seen those movies. But Kingstone Studios, what movies have they done? So it's kind of bizarre choice to make. Alright, so Fairy Tale Hero, thank you for tuning in. Leslie was a random carrot in 'Twas the Night Before Easter. So he was probably trying to fit into VeggieTales at the time. Okay, so we make the judge's mallet. Alright, so for this part right here, LarryBoy Fanatic is going to be sitting in a chair that's LarryBoy shaped. Alright, would you like it if it was a musical or not? Well, VeggieTales, like, they've made music. For a lot of their episodes, there'd be songs. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, if it's a musical, that's fine. If not, then that's fine too. And you're right, it's one of VeggieTales' strengths. Being new for audiences who are tired of bland superhero movies. Love the LBF chair. Thank you. Yeah, I still don't know why this is happening either, Angel Cat. It's like, this announcement came out of nowhere, and they expect us to be happy with it, be excited about it. Well, I got news for them. It's like, they want us to be freaking excited about this LarryBoy movie in the works. They need to make it happen. They need to work on this movie night and day. And like I said, Kingstone Studios, and some of y'all pointed this out too. It's like Kingstone Studios. It's like, what have they done? Like, what movies have they made other than epic graphics for their, just to show off their biblical comics? How are they going to animate this movie with pixie dust? Are they going to bring Maya animation back from the dead and use that? Right, huge LarryBoy fan. Fit from Outer Space started me as a LarryBoy fan. I would be devastated if they ruined LarryBoy. Yeah, a lot of us are already devastated. Yeah, with excitement comes heavy caution. And I gotta keep saying this over and over. I want to be excited. I want to be like, yes, finally, LarryBoy's getting a movie. But you know, it's like the people behind the scenes. That's what mainly concerns me. It's like you can't get past the fact that corporate is greenlighting this movie. Like, I'm calling corporate. Maybe he's gonna turn into another podcast and Leslie's gonna file DMCA ticket. I'm pretty sure Leslie does not have. Because let me tell you something about DMCA's. Like if you're caught pirating a movie or show, I mean that's reason for a DMCA. But for people expressing opinions about something, making reviews of your movie or show, I mean that's no reason for a DMCA. I was like, she would definitely lose in court if it ever got to somebody's review getting taken down. It would be like the judge would be like, oh well, this person just expressed their opinion about a movie and they fall under fair use. Like they weren't pirating your movie or show. So yeah, that was like there's no grounds for a DMCA. Because like opinions are opinions and people have a right to their opinion. DMCA is for like for just sharing your opinion on something. That's not grounds for a DMCA. And plus, that would be like a weak thing to do. To take down people's videos because you don't like their opinion. Junior Boy's in the chat. Oh, and Avery Boy. Let's make Matt feel better. Yeah, I'm very sorry about the... Yeah, you can DM me about it on Discord, Matt. Don't worry. Okay, now as far as Leslie, well, we still got to be nice to her, even though, well, be civil. We got to be civil. Step aside, Larry Boy. It's Junior Boy time to shine. Yeah, I would agree to that. Yeah, always. Yeah, I think Nintega Dario wrote an open letter. Yeah, wrote an open letter to Leslie on his community post. And I think that's like the most civil thing you can do is write a nice letter. Alright, I'm just checking something real quick. But so far this is looking okay. This is looking pretty good. I think I'm not even excited. Haven't drawn in a while. I'm sorry if my arm's in the way, but yeah. Just typing something in. I might type something in on Twitter in a little bit. Alright, splickety split. Oh yeah, I've also shared. Okay, what have I also shared? Yeah, this announcement about LarryBoy getting a movie, like, just came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. Should LarryBoy movie be an origin movie? It should just be a movie. Well, like I was saying earlier, we definitely need like something to explain why LarryBoy became the hero that he is. I mean, that's been like a question that's always been on my mind. It's been on a lot of people's minds. Okay, just focus in. Alright. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I had to check something on my phone real quick and type something. The drawing is lit, thank you. Arm in the way better than JB Plush in the way. Better than JB Plush in the way. Like the drawing so far? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're right, because it's not finished yet. Okay, so definitely just be a movie. Interesting for a movie, an origin story. Don't think we yet need to know superhero origin. Just try to do the right thing. No origin story necessary. Okay, so I'm seeing yes, we need an origin story, and no, we don't need an origin story. So it's a little mixed. So there's no consensus. I mean, the only consensus is we're okay with either or. Thanks, John. All right. I want a story of how this movie is gonna flop. Oh, you mean like a documentary? It's like, okay, well, here's how to screw up a franchise. Here's how we kicked out Phil and Mike because they made the cardinal sin of asking for more creative freedom. It was like, oh no, we can't have that. Okay, this drawing inspires you. That's cool. Alright. NMG Smash. Just want to say that I think there is only one way to bring back Phil and Mike for VeggieTales. Fire Leslie Farrell. Have Phil come back as the manager. I mean, that would be a good ending to this saga, this scenario. But, that's not going to happen because corporate. LBF in 2026, one of my biggest rants in VeggieTales history. Well, that depends because, yeah, this movie isn't out yet, obviously, and we're still left to speculate on whether it'll be a good movie or not. Yeah, the 90s were legendary because of Phil and Mike. Because like I said, they made VeggieTales. They made it for what it is. 2026 will be an odd year, even though it ends on an even number. Should not be hoping for a flop. We should hope for a good flick. Yeah, exactly. That's why I've been saying on Twitter that this movie has to be good. This movie needs to be good. It's like, it has no choice but to be good. Otherwise, this whole thing would be for nothing. You telling the VeggieTales fans to rise up. Rise up and battle Leslie. Now that I think about it, it's like, let me look up the NBC logo. Because I really don't want to draw Leslie's face. It's like the NBC Universal logo. The NBC logo needs to be the face. Alright, so I'm looking up logos. That's perfect. That's going to be your face. NBC, proud as a peacock. Alright, so Fairy Tale Hero, if Matt doesn't want to talk to you, then Matt doesn't want to talk to you. So yeah, you're gonna need to back off, okay? Okay, you watch Sunday Night Football, you should know what it's like. Oh yes, Super Bowl. By the way, do you guys watch Super Bowl? Do you guys watch the NFL? Do you guys watch football? Alright, Avery Boy. I remember seeing in my podcast episode that if they do as so much as push back the movie release date to 2027 or 2028, then it's gonna piss me off. And I'm gonna stop believing them and that the movie's gonna be for nothing. If they mention 2026, if they say that they're aiming for a theatrical release for 2026, then the movie needs to come out in 2026. We're going to put a mandate on them. If they want to make LarryBoy movie a corporate mandate, then we're putting the mandate on them, saying this movie needs to come out 2026 or else. 2026. Put your money where your mouth is. Fairy Tale Hero, Matt just told you to back away from him. If he's telling you to back off, then you need to back off. If he's not happy with you, then he's not happy with you. Give him space. I mean, I'm not sure what the situation is, but yeah, if he's telling you to back off, then back off. Alright, so... Okay, so going back to what I was saying, 2026... It's like, they said it, they're the ones that said it, they're the ones that said, oh, we're aiming for a 2026 release. Well, then do it. Then make it happen. You're NBCUniversal, you made the podcast happen, you made firing Phil and Mike happen, so put your money where your mouth is and do it. Oh, Ian's in the chat. I didn't notice that until now. Oh my god. Ian, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm seeing chat right now. And you know what? Ian made a really good point. The film is projected for 2026. That would be the 20th anniversary of The Bad Apple. I just realized that. I just realized that. Alright, Grouchman says, here's hoping the movie turns out to be a success. I mean, I want it to be a success. I never said I wanted it to fail. I never said that. I would like this movie to be successful, but the way things are right now, it's like, how many people's faith have wavered? You know? It's like, how can you trust them? How can you trust NBCUniversal? How can you trust Leslie? You know what? She was saying a lot of great things about the VeggieTales show when that teaser trailer came out for the VeggieTales show. And that was like 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. And what? The VeggieTales show does, like, it only lasts for one season. And then the podcast comes out, only lasts for 1.5 seasons. Because they just quit in season 2. And now, with this announcement for the movie coming out, she's now saying, LarryBoy's a fan favorite. Well, you didn't act like that years ago, so why should we believe you now? It'll be better starring me. It'll be starring me. Oh, you want to be the star of the movie? Yep. Who this lady? Well, you're about to find out soon enough. I want to stare. I want to stare at this. Alright. You'll stare at it. Let me take another sip of my water. Yeah, they quit halfway in season 2. Wait, I need to pull up the NBC logo. NBC, proud as a peacock. Yeah, and you're also proud to let go of Phil and Mike because, oh no, they asked for creative freedom. And you know, this wouldn't be the first time that they screw over VeggieTales. Because remember when VeggieTales on TV was a thing? They had the nerve to edit out much of the biblical parts of VeggieTales. That did not look good. Let me fix that. First time me drawing the NBC logo. We're doing real good. And did you know that the NBC logo used to have a lot more feathers than this? Yeah, really. I was looking at the logo history for NBC. And it was like, oh, it used to be this, and it used to look like this. It used to look like a big N, and used to have an N with the peacock logo. Why do I have a weird feeling this is all clickbait? it kind of sounds, right now, the movie sounds like clickbait. Or in this case, well, it is clickbait because, like, they want algorithmic attention. That'd be like the biggest, what do you call it? We'd be bamboozled, basically. It feels like, it would feel like a scam. Okay, so that's my attempt at NBC logo. And Leslie with her big hair. Because in that teaser trailer, like, she's got long hair and... Well, I don't want to make her like the crypt keeper. I mean, geez Louise. My attempt at curly hair. And I want her to wear the same outfit that Adele Pepper wears in the VeggieTales show. I'm gonna look that up real quick. The VeggieTales show, Adele Pepper. You're right. Don't do us or LarryBoy dirty. Otherwise, you're definitely going to hear about it. Okay, open image in a new tab. I can't... Okay, that image is too small. Oh, this is a plain dress, so I don't know why I added a belt for. Because that's what she totally reminds me of right now, Adele Pepper. Alright, let me type in something real quick. So I might post something on Twitter. Yeah, that's what I was looking at right now. Just hoping VeggieTales can go out with a bang instead of a whimper. Yeah, this is my attempt at an NBC logo. Okay, I need to know if like something is in the works, like voice acting, animating, everything before I know for sure. Yeah, they need to release some tidbits. Concept art. And you know what? It's easy to put out a teaser trailer. You know that Pirates Who Don't Do Anything teaser? Yeah, the one I reacted to some time ago. Let's look that up. Pirates Who Don't Do Anything trailer. I mean, look at that. It's like right here. I mean, you won't hear the audio for it because one, I got headphones attached to the computer and plus copyright. But you know what? Hang on. Imagine they just give up and put it on Peacock or Yippee. Alright, so you see how they're reusing footage from the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything Silly song? And they're reusing footage from Jonah. And they're interviewing some of the people. And there's concept art. See, there's concept art. It's so easy to put together a teaser. They were able to do this with Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. And they did this back in 2008. A little before 2008, because 2008 is when this movie came out. And then I think I mentioned this in my podcast episode. But yeah, it's easy to put together a teaser trailer and be like, hey, this is what we're working on. So there's definitely no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. Okay, so they put out the Pirates teaser in 2007. Okay. Yeah, they need to have a teaser in the works. Even if it's just showing concept art, like the Pirates teaser. It's like and I think I've mentioned it in the podcast episode. I mean, if Disney can put out movies every year now, and they're able to share teasers with the fans like a couple of years prior, then a release of then it shouldn't be that hard to give us a LarryBoy movie in 2026. I mean, technology has advanced. And heck, if Billy Bustup has been putting out a lot of progress, a lot of work in progress stuff, because you could tell that they've been working on the game for quite some time. Pretty much night and day, with the exception of holidays. If an indie video game studio is able to do all that for 6 years straight, because yeah, they're working on a video game. If they're able to put out progress and stuff like that, then the LarryBoy movies shouldn't have a problem putting out progress and showing the fans, hey, this is what we're working on. Hey, we're working on it. Hey, we're gonna make this a pretty good game. No, pretty good movie. Because the way things are right now, I'm treating Billy Bustup as a gold standard. And let's keep in mind, Billy Bustup's game studio, Giddy Goat Games, they're an indie studio. And NBCUniversal is mainstream corporate media. So you mean to tell me that an indie studio is doing a lot better than corporate? To me, that's kind of embarrassing. Okay, so George Robertson's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. The movie was announced 4 days ago. Yeah, it was. And it's like a lot can happen within 4 days. And I think 2026 is a suitable release time for the movie. Because if they're saying it, and if they're going on articles and telling the people, hey, it's coming out in 2026, then that's seen as a promise. Because the last thing you want to do is potentially lie to the fans. You don't want to do that. Since you changed your copy of the LarryBoy... okay, so... the question that you had, George, is it addressed to Ian or me? The one that says, since you changed your copy of the LarryBoy collection into a DVD of the League of Incredible Vegetables, what'd you do with the disc in that case? Oh, okay, I see your question. What do you think of how on the Christmas Classics DVD they cut out the silly songs on the Toilet Save Christmas? Well, I don't think I have that DVD collection. Yeah, delay once and we're drawing the line. Yeah, we're gonna have to draw the line. If they delay the movie once, then I'm drawing the line. Okay, so the Christmas collection, I don't know too much about, so I can't really answer that question. Alright, so as far as if they delay it to 2027 or 2028, then that's crossing the line. Draw the line. It's over. There's your line. Yeah, because we gotta hold NBCUniversal accountable some way. If you don't hold people accountable, then they're gonna continue getting away with making promises that they can't keep. And you as a consumer need to know what's best for you. Stop accepting the standard of delayed movies, video games, shows. It's like, fight back. Don't let corporate do this to you. Alright, so should the LarryBoy movie be canon to the main timeline, or should it be its own canon? Well, when it comes to the LarryBoy multiverse, anything can happen. It's like, they might do the timeline for Fib and Bad Apple, or they might do the timeline from the Cartoon Adventures, or they might do the timeline for VeggieTales in the House and City. We don't know. Okay, so some of you guys are willing to be flexible when it comes to the release date, but if you say that a movie's gonna come out in 2026 and it's NBCUniversal saying that, and given their track record of putting out mediocre content for VeggieTales, and if you're gonna make a bold claim like that, and with Leslie being the one to spearhead this movie, even though she lied to us years ago about sticking to the VeggieTales brand and what made it special, and you're saying that a LarryBoy movie is getting a potential release date of 2026, then you need to show us that you mean what you say. Because you lied to us years ago. I want to know that you're not going to lie to us this time. So that's why I'm not flexible with the release date. Ultimate unofficial Yeah, I had to look up Finn's character. Okay, so refocus. There we go. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's like they need to stop lying, and if they want us to believe them that they're gonna put out a good movie, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Well, prove it. This is their chance for redemption. And so put the movie out in 2006. Maybe I'll forgive him. Because you can't just abuse somebody and then come back and say I've changed. Prove to me that you've changed, and then maybe I'll forgive you. But I really like the quote that you said, Alden. A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly. Do you think it'd be cool if Paul Grape was a villain in the Larry Boy movie? Well, I don't really see Paul Grape as a villain, period, because yeah, he's kind and well-natured, unless he went back to his old shtick of the grapes of wrath. Yeah, Leslie would definitely need a redemption arc. Oh yeah, that is a Bible quote. I recognized it right away. I think that's in Proverbs. Bob the Tomato being a villain, imagine. But wouldn't that contradict his superhero arc of being Thingamabob? Alrighty, so the court is in session. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna grab some markers and I'm also gonna grab a quick snack, so just give me a couple of minutes. BRB. Okay, cool drawing. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I knew it was Proverbs. Okay, so yeah, Proverbs 14:29. Yeah, I knew it was from the book of Proverbs. Yeah, because the way it was written, yeah. LarryBoy and Fifth from Outer Space remolded. I think the stakes would be higher if Fifth from Outer Space ever got a remodified version. A live action LarryBoy short film. Who made that? Alright, so I got some Cheez-Its. And I also got Ritz crackers. You know what? The one thing that I was gonna get, I didn't get the markers. I was maybe because I'm hungry. Ricochet's saving the day. Gonna find him if he does. Alright, so I got a bunch of markers. It's like I have the classic, and I also have the bold and bright colors one. The one that's got 20 colors. It's like fought his fears when he fights the fib. If the design for Emperor of Envy was Leslie's. Oh, for that Emperor of Envy episode, where he's just like a literal nerd with a bow tie. They probably didn't read the Emperor of Envy book, because in the book, it's a red cherry tomato dressed up all fancy in a robe and with a monocle. It's like they couldn't even do that. It's like, oh, let's make him into a nerd. It's like, what? And you know the bodyguards, the henchmen, Frank and Jesse, they were like big sweet potatoes, big muscular sweet potatoes in the book. But on the show, they're like average sized potatoes. Way to screw that up. Oh, Quizmaster was saying that he wonders if the Emperor of Envy design was Leslie's. So we're not sure if it was Leslie's or not, but wouldn't surprise me at the slightest if that was her design. No, it's not misinformation. It's like you wonder. It's like it's a thought. I mean, wouldn't surprise me if it was true. Alright, so Fairy Tale here is leaving. Thank you for tuning in. You know what? I gotta grab like some cardboard. Just in case the marker bleeds to the next page. Alright, found some cardboard. Let's move you out of the way for a second. There we go. Okay. Back into focus. You're out of focus. So this is the color Electric Lime. Now, Electric Lime is important because it's usually for my Veggie OC and Junior Boy's OC. Okay, so a little off topic. What's y'all's plans for Valentine's? Kind of curious. Cat was trying to eat it. Yeah, you know, I would get a cat, but my mom was like, no. Growing up, my family has had dogs. Only dogs. With the only exception of being 1 or 2 rabbits. But never a cat. I had a cousin who had a cat and I fell in love with it. It was nice. So here's what I'm thinking. Whenever I get my own place, I'm definitely going to get a cat. Yeah, I really want one. Yeah, get rid of some of these markings before we color on them. He's like, get the kitten. Which cat breed do you want? There's a lot to choose from. Well, to be honest, I want a cat that's like Well, I like to have a tabby. Orange tabby sounds nice. I want a tabby that's close to blonde. Maybe I could find a picture of it real quick. Yellow tabby. Orange tabby. Alright, so either this one or this one. My first choice being this. I don't know, it just seems right. Seems like the right type of cat for me. Yeah, look at them cuddle. I like that. My mom is like, oh, but they'll scratch on stuff and blah 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 blah. They'll litter box, and it's like, well, I take care of a dog for one, so I already know there's a lot of responsibility for pets. And plus, can't you declaw cats so that they don't mess up your furniture or whatever? I'll be sure to get all that done, like when I get a cat. You know what I realized? Okay. Okay, there's like Bob and Larry plushies on the floor because she doesn't care. It was like, merch, don't care. I mean, this is the state of VeggieTales being on the floor. Alright, so Grouchman is leaving. And yeah, you rock. Keep being awesome. Thank you, Grouchman. And thank you for tuning into the stream. Alright, Kirsten's in the chat. Okay, you can declaw them, but that's the equivalent of permanently removing fingernails from a person. Oh, that's a good point. So I guess the next best thing would be like having a scratch post. They make all kinds of scratch posts, by the way. Like the structures and stuff like that. And some of them look goofy looking. Yeah, make scratching posts into an obstacle course. Just gonna test out my colors real quick. Snap, it's a court drawing. SMG Fanatic, thank you for tuning in. The way you color is smooth. Why, thank you. Infernet, well, first and foremost, thank you for tuning in. In answer to your question, Neopet's Darkest Fairy. I've heard of Neopets, but I never got to play Neopets anything. I mean, it's a pretty good brand. It's a pretty good brand, but I've never actually played anything. of theirs. Right now, Bob the tomato is sitting in the jury stands crying. Yeah, I added this part at the last minute when I was drawing this, when I was sketching this out, because it's sad. The way things are right now is sad. The end of silliness situation, that animation is never leaving my head. When I first saw that episode of End of Silliness, I cried a bit. But then as time went on, it's like, okay, yeah, that happened, and silly songs came back. The tonsils, situation for Bob the tomato, that's referencing VeggieTales in the House. I think that happened in one episode of VeggieTales in the House. That's what that's referencing. And I think Dario reanimated that scene. And that was a pretty good video. Where's my purple? Okay, here it is. Junior Boy is actually the bailiff. He's the bailiff. You know the police officer that stands in front of the court, make sure people are behaving. So Junior Boy is my bailiff in this scenario. And speaking of, we need to color in his plungers. Help wanted sign for a lawyer. You know what? She could hire the best lawyers in the world, but it's not gonna change the fact that she's not doing good at her job. Fan of Ace Ventura. Objection! Oh, Ace Attorney, not Ace Ventura. Let's move in some wires. 12 Angry Veggies. Oh my god, great reference. I think I saw 12 Angry Men one time. It was for like a school assignment. I mean, it was an okay movie. LBF is the real judge here. Well, yeah. I'll be the judge of so-and-so. You want me to grab my orange? Alright, so the NBC logo is right there. Okay, what is Leslie Farrell supposed to be in the drawing again? I'm trying to make her into like an Adele Pepper type person. But for the face, it's just going to be the NBC logo. Yeah, if you see her in the teaser trailer to the VeggieTales show, it's like already an older individual, and I don't want to be ugly about that. And plus, she's basically the face of NBCUniversal. So this definitely makes sense. Yeah, we're gonna put her in Adele Pepper's dress. Because if you've seen the VeggieTales show, especially the Menacing Mushroom episode, kind of reminds me of her. Yeah, Farrell runs both actually. That's why it's labeled Big Ideas / NBCUniversal. And I think they write it like that in the article. Yeah, I Can Be Your Friend is a really good song. Yeah, one of the best songs. You know, top 20 at the least. And Boys in the Sink songs, they're pretty good too. NBC Sports. Yeah, I've heard about the new Ghostbusters movie. Got my Judge Judy wig on. And like I was saying, the main inspiration was the Judge Barnaby cutscene that Billy Buster was working on. Yeah, let me pull it up again. Yeah, this right here. Judge Barnaby's here. So this is part of my inspiration. Yeah, you see, I have a better time with Billy Bustup than I'm having with VeggieTales right now. Honestly. Because at least Billy Bustup is making things happen. I'm going to make the mallet orange. Just a little bit of purple right around here. There we go. Alright, so we need our judge's robe. That's an interesting thought, imagining Adele Pepper as Leslie Farrell. Yeah, Adele Pepper was the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking about, oh my god, what... Okay, my mind just went blank for a second. But yeah, that's the first thing that came into my mind was Adele Pepper, Leslie Farrell. Okay. Give Junior Boy some shades. Because he's a cool dude. Oh, the reflection on his shades. Perfect. It came out so perfectly. Alright. Seeing when a Finn's community post can't really confirm nor deny. You know what? I'm going to pull up Phil Vischer's Twitter. Because, yeah, Finn's been sharing what Phil has been saying about this whole thing. Because, like I said, like, didn't even know, like, the LarryBoy movie was going to be a thing. Oh, take a look at this. He's set this in February 6th. Apparently, there's a new LarryBoy in development somewhere by someone. No idea who, where, or how. So, like, that was just what I've been saying. It's like, his only means of finding out stuff is through the internet. Around the same time as we are. Around the same time as we're finding out. And this was posted on February 6th. I'm gonna repost this tweet. Wait, did anybody reply to this? Hang on. Okay, sorry if that was a little blurry. Yeah. Okay, someone in the comments was like, somebody asked him, do you have anything to do with it? And then Phil's like, I just heard about it on Twitter. See? He just heard about it the same time as we did. Okay, and here's Nategadario. I really hope it's not too late for them to reach out to you. Do you think there's a chance they'll reach out to you about voiceover? Even at that, I wouldn't blame you for turning him down. I wouldn't watch it if Phil didn't write it. And even people are saying, hey, it's not LarryBoy without LarryBoy Radio Tales without Phil, Mike, and everyone. Trying to see if there's more to this. And some people are saying that they're not going to watch the movie at all. Well, I'm going to be watching the movie, obviously, because I have to report on it. And does Mike Naraki have Twitter? I'm going to check real quick. No, it seems like only Phil has Twitter. Yeah, only Phil has Twitter. Mike Naraki is not on Twitter. I mean, there's mentions of Mike Naraki on Twitter, but there's no account. Oh, Tim Hodge? Does he have Twitter? I would like to get his thoughts on this LarryBoy movie. Okay. Okay, so Tim Hodge has Twitter. No, he hasn't posted any. Tim Hodge has not posted anything about the LarryBoy movie on his Twitter. Doesn't look like. Well, he hasn't posted anything since this past December. Okay, so I was trying to figure out like what color Leslie's hair was. Yeah, I had to go back to the teaser trailer to the VeggieTales show just now. And see how they, this is like on the left hand corner, it says that she's labeled as the SVP Big Idea Content dash NBC Universal. I kicked that. Sorry about that. So be on the safe side. We'll make our hair. We'll make it less messy, but you know. Oh, I accidentally kicked the tripod. Yeah, I feel like this is the only way I can represent NBC Universal without being offensive. You know what I'm saying? You know what? While we're at it, we're gonna make the chair purple with a yellow outline. Looks great. Why, thank you. I'll most likely have this finished, hopefully like during the weekend. And we'll make his baton gray. Just like his belt buckle. Where did I put my blue? Blue I was using for... Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fins over. And you know what? You're right. That we should just wait things out. But what I'm saying is, like, given NBC Universal's track record, it's really hard to take their word on things. It's really hard to do that. Because what happens if they lie to us again? Or they stay silent on us again? Do you really want that to happen to you over and over? It's like they gotta find some way to regain trust. Otherwise, we're just gonna assume that they're trying to win us back and not be sincere about it, you know? Bringing back the original cast would be a good start to winning back trust. And coming out and apologizing that they fired Phil and Mike. Because they never apologized for that. If they found some way to get out of their corporate bubble, like gone outside, yeah, then I'll probably forgive them. But so far, all they did was announce a LarryBoy movie in the works with a studio that's never really done animating or whatever. They're just giving us empty words right now. And it's kind of suspicious. And you see Bob the Tomato is crying right here. Because all this is going on, and you know who's suffering right now? VeggieTales. Phil and Mike. And so I sympathize more with Phil and Mike than NBCUniversal. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's the only thing they're achieving is us talking about it. They got us talking about it. So what, do they want a pat on the back for having us talk about it? It's like, oh, we deserve your love now because we have you talking about it. I mean, and that's not to be ugly or anything, but that's just it. That's the facts right there. What really got us talking back then was the VeggieTales show when that teaser trailer came out. You got us talking then because we incorrectly thought that the show is going to be great and that Phil and Mike were going to be able to do whatever they wanted with that show. And what the show doesn't last long. It doesn't even get past season 1. And then they say, oh, well, a podcast sounds reasonable. Yeah, we're sick of getting burned at this point. So that's why I said in my podcast episode, I'm not going to believe them until we see something. Yeah, they brought back Phil and Mike as the voice actors. Yeah. And you know what else? They were promised that Phil and Mike were promised that they would get to have more creative freedom in that show. Because they didn't get that much creative freedom in the Netflix series. But over time, it's like they were essentially lied to. And what happened when Phil and Mike asked for creative freedom? They were fired. They were kicked out. I mean, that's how they thank Phil and Mike for VeggieTales. That's how they thank him, is by shoving them out of their own project, out of their own home, essentially. Yeah, I think we've been lied to many times, Matt. So it's hard to, yeah, so it's kind of hard to trust somebody when they've been lying to you over and over and over. Yeah, Phil and Mike are the OGs of VeggieTales. And that's something that NBCUniversal is never going to understand. That's something that Leslie's not going to understand. It's like, as much as we want to harp on the fact that she's not doing a good job with VeggieTales right now, you know, they're just going to go back to her. She's just going to go back to her corporate bubble and be like, okay, we'll make this movie. We'll make your movie so you can shut the hell up. Okay, follow-up question. What's more important, trust or forgiveness? Yeah, that's a tough one. That's really a tough one. And I could only leave it at that because you can't just expect forgiveness like willy-nilly. You can't expect people to forgive you on jump. I think trust is something that you gotta earn. So, yeah, it all depends. Yeah, I'm looking at my watch right now. It's 2:30. 2:30 in the afternoon, Central Time. Wow, I've been streaming for a few hours now. Alright, so this is my progress so far on the drawing. I'm gonna continue working on it off stream. But you know what? Let me turn my camera back to me. because I'm going to try and end this on a positive note. Yeah, I would like for this movie to be made. Like, at this point in time, it has to be made. Otherwise, this is going to be another case of NBCUniversal lying to us and trying to get us to shut up about VeggieTales. If you haven't seen my podcast episode, I'll have a link in the description. Yeah, I agree with you there, Matt. And you're right. The movie is giving us something to talk about, but they can't expect like a pat on the back for it. It's like, y'all should have made this movie a long time ago. It's like, y'all could have made this like back in 2012 instead of putting out League of Incredible Vegetables. Y'all could have made that instead of Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. It was like they had opportunities after opportunity to make, to make this movie. And it's been 20 years. It's gonna be 20 years since LarryBoy and the Bad Apple, which is lightning in a bottle. It's one of the best LarryBoy movies, best LarryBoy episodes in VeggieTales. How are you gonna top that? How are you gonna top that with this movie? So like I was saying in my podcast episode, the teaser trailer, I want hype built up. I want it to be God tier. I want it to be something that gets us excited. If you mean what you say and you're wanting this movie to come out in 2026, you gotta put in the effort. Would trust be useful for forgiveness? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so positive note. This drawing is turning out really good. Might add some collage to color up the backgrounds. Kind of like what I did with this banner. Kind of like with this. It was like, this was colored in marker. Meanwhile, the background was made using magazine paper. That's what you call collage. You glue the paper to make it colorful. So I'll probably do collage for the background of this. Oh yeah, a little sneak peek. This is me, Ronnie, being captured by Barnaby Ghost Owl. It's another one I'm working on. Yeah, I'm still in the process of coloring it on my computer. Okay, what else do I want to show you guys? Alright, so anyways, one more time, this is my progress, what I'm having so far. Some of this, I'll use colored pencil. Probably like a peach color for Nintendo Dario. Well, he's a tangerine, isn't he? Well, you know. So this is my court scene. Quiet in the court. Quiet now. Alright. So anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning into the live stream. Oh, man. 2 hours of streaming? Oh, my gosh. A Carnado. A Carnado, okay. Alright, so, yeah, thank you for tuning into the live stream. If you like this live stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you want to support the show, you can always join my Patreon or channel membership. Even though, I think I offer a little more on Patreon. Hint, hint. So, yeah, be sure to tune in for another episode of All Betcha Bang Bang. Yeah, I just need to figure out a topic to talk about on the next podcast episode. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah. Links will be in the description once I get off stream. So, anyways, this has been your girl, Ronnie, also known as LarryBoy Fanatic, the eyes and plunger ears of the LarryBoy multiverse. And let's spread the word. Hashtag justice for LarryBoy. And I'll put the hashtag in my social media. So, what do you think about all this, GB? Eh. What do you mean, and? We talked about a lot of stuff today. 2 hours of streaming. Get off the computer. I want to play Fortnite. But we play Fortnite on the PlayStation. Tomato, tomato. Alright, guys. So you guys, take care. And, yeah, justice for LarryBoy. Hashtag justice for LarryBoy. See you guys.